Welcome back, everyone, to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig. You got Jeff over there sitting across from me. And today we're going to talk tight ends and what should you do about tight ends in auction drafts. And I'll just come out and say it right away. Don't spend on them this year. I know there's some people right now that are really not happy with what I just said. And the reason will be, there's one reason why it's going to be Travis Kelce. Right? Travis Kelce is getting way up the boards on his price and everything, and people that he's that good, right? He is really good. There is no doubt. And I think it's got to the point where it's a little insane to me. Travis Kelce right now on ESPN, go to ESPN Live Draft Trends, take a look at what he's going for. $53.5. He's good. I know the guy's good. Is Travis Kelce $34 better than the second highest priced tight end in the league? $34. That is crazy. Look at it this way. We just had a quarterback episode. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. What would you rather have, Jeff? Would you rather have Travis Kelce, or would you rather have Patrick Mahomes and Mark Andrews?
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely do that.
You know what I mean? Like you can't get. Man, that's crazy to me. Nothing against the player. This is why this is different in auction than even like a snake draft. Snake draft, I'm not even going to say no to that. But where you get him, sure. Auction, I can't do it.
Well, yeah, I 100% agree with you, because in the snake draft, you take him at the end of the first round, you have an automatic advantage at every team you play, right? This one, there's a price to pay. That price is really freaking high. So $53 currently he's going for. And here's the difference. Like last year, if you're just looking at the amount of points someone averaged, and he played every single game too. So not only was he incredibly that much better than every other tight end, but he played every game. But he averaged 2.7 points more than the second tight end, which was George Kittle.
It's an advantage, no doubt. But
in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it week by week, it's not nearly as big, right? And that's across the board. But when you total it up, and the fact that he played 2 extra games, he, a whopping 66 points for the year over the second guy. And also, you can't trust any other guy. Every guy that we thought was going to be the next big thing hasn't come to fruition, right? Even Mark Andrews last year took a step back slightly, even though he is very, very good still. But Hawkinson never really came all the way. George Kittle never really did. Evan Ingram, after his initial start, he really fell off. That's pretty much it, because after that,
so all the stuff we're talking about, we get it. Like, he's way better than everybody, right? He is
100% way better.
But the price is, everyone thinks that now, and everyone has just gone, to me, overboard with what the difference is. And I can't, again, we'll do a mock about that too, right? Where let's get Travis Kelce, and how does the team look? It might not look bad, but I think you're better off with that kind of scenario. If Travis Kelce gets hurt, you put yourself in a bind by spending that on tight end. But it's not just Travis Kelce to me. I don't want Mark Andrews at $19 either.
And I'll go a step further.
I really don't want Hawkinson at $14.
I don't want that either. I don't even want Waller at almost 10.
No, I don't want Waller at 10. I don't want Kittle at 9. Kittle has shown some injuries here. I don't want either of those guys. I don't want the top 5. Goddard gets to 6.
And right there, depending on how much money you have in your draft, I think that he becomes interesting to me for the next 2 guys, him and Pitts, because the upside is so much.
I'm not done with Pitts, because we've talked about tight ends. I think Pitts came in with such hype that everyone kind of went overboard with it.
No rookie ever does it.
The tight end, Travis Kelce didn't do it right away.
No.
You were a big Travis Kelce guy. It's funny. Like, I can remember the time when you were a Travis Kelce guy before Travis Kelce became Travis Kelce. It took a couple years.
I mean, you can see, and I was going to say, there's a guy that I'm still not completely off of that I think Craig likes as well. I'm not completely off, and he might be the only one I'm wrong on, but you can kind of understand who is going to be the standouts, right? And it is the offensive tight end, right? There is very good tight end. Someone like Kittle, who is an unbelievably good tight end when you're talking about football as a whole. When you're talking about fantasy, he's a good player. He is not a great one. He hasn't shown us that he is elite as far as a fantasy player. He's a good tight end to have, and there's a reason he's, the 5th tight end this year. But he blocks. He does a lot of really good things. Travis Kelce is next level. He's a wide receiver in a tight end body. Mark Andrews, I can understand the argument there, but it all depends on how Baltimore is doing.
And even Mark Andrews, I mean, he's had some good years. He's had one really good year. Mm-hmm. And then he had a couple years where the touchdowns were high. And
okay, this is the other thing. If you don't get Travis Kelce, which I would recommend not paying $53 to get him.
Yep.
All you have to do, but you just have to find the hot hand as far as touchdowns.
Yep.
You're not there's no other tight end that is going to blow you away with yardage and safety and anything like that. So it all comes down to touchdowns. And I'll tell you, after you get past these top 5, there is still a lot of upside for guys that you don't have to pay anything for.
Yep.
And that is also why I'm like, I would rather grab a couple of these guys and find out if I catch the next wave.
Pitts at about 6. I mean, his rookie year is actually really good for a tight end. It actually was. Then he was hurt last year, right? So his first year, 110 targets, 68 catches, 1,000 yards. He just didn't get touchdowns. He only had 1. That's why it felt like a bust in a way. That's a great tight end rookie season. Last year he's hurt, didn't get the stuff. He has all the talent there is. I'm okay with taking that chance on Pitts. Evan Ingram, I'm probably not going to do it. I think he had a good year, but I don't think that's, Calvin Ridley's there. I'm just probably not going to. Freiermuth, okay, but I think Freiermuth's kind of just, he's fine, right? But I don't think it's anything I want. Njoku's interesting. That's another one of those really talented guys. He's taking some time. And maybe year 2 with Deshaun Watson. Again, I don't know what to think about Deshaun Watson, but if it all works out, this could be a good one.
Yeah, I like him for the $2 right now. That's a good bet.
Yeah, I would definitely take Njoku for $2. I'm going to take that chance. Dalton Schultz with Houston,
he's actually honestly I don't mind if you're not going to pay for a tight end, and I wouldn't mind because
I guess with the rookie, when you
you're going to dump off to him. Yes. In the grand scheme of things of tight ends, he's not someone that I think will light the world on fire. But at the same time, if you had to start him the first couple of weeks, I don't care. There's only a handful of guys that are going to be able to gouge you on that.
Cole Kmet, there could be breakout potential there, but I like him, but I don't know.
I'm not as big. Yeah. Last year I was bigger, but now that they have so much talent at the wide receiver,
there's other guys I'd want.
Yeah.
Higbee, not gonna go for it. Ertz, I'm not gonna go for it. Okay, I like Kincaid, but rookie tight end, like we just said, he's probably, even if he's good at I can't see it being anything that you want in fantasy. Gerald Everett, we know what he is. He might be okay, but there's too many guys there anyway. Greg Dulcich is interesting.
Yes, he is,
and he's going for $0.3, so he's free. Yeah, essentially.
That is one guy that I would heavily target. I think right now I understand everyone is very, very down on Denver for good reason. They can't get worse than what they were. And they brought in a new coach. That is pretty much revamping the whole thing. There was a lot to build on as far as statistical data of how, it was really just Russell Wilson wasn't hitting guys. Mm-hmm. But as far as, yardage, down the field, how much you're on the field, the percentages of catchable balls. If you would rein that back in, Dulcich looked pretty good. He has a lot of athletic ability, and I'm not completely sure where they're going to play him. I like what I'm hearing about him being a guy they move all over the field because they think he's that type of player. And Sutton and Judy, once again, all these guys are going to be overlooked because they had such a bad year, but they are 2 good wide receivers. And if Wilson gets it together, he could get a lot of pay dirt, and that could be a very good guy for, a 5 to 8 touchdown year. And that wouldn't be that crazy for someone like that.
I'm with you on that. I think that's where I take the chance. It's guys like him. And then honestly, Mike Gesicki, I'm not done. I'm not done with it. I'm telling you, I'm not. Especially with the Patriots now. We've seen the talent from him before. Mike McDaniel's system was not for him, and that's where it wasn't great last year. That system was not for him. There's a reason why he left. Patriots have a history of going to quarterback or going to tight ends, right? And are any of the receivers there really gonna like? Are they that impressive at receiver? Right. There's something possibly there, and then for me, Irv Smith. I'm not done. That was the one I was going to say. I'm not done.
I could be wrong on him, but I felt like he had it.
And put him in Cincinnati now. So he's their starting tight end.
Yep. I like him too. And the other one I'll throw in there, Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he's getting no love, but he actually, he was the 8th best tight end last year. Yeah. And, he missed one game. And, this is the problem. It's just a slew of guys that all got anywhere from, 4 to 7 points per game.
Yeah.
But Juwan Johnson, he had a really nice middle of the year campaign.
Yep.
And we keep talking about it, but the upgrade at QB is real. Mm-hmm. And that is going to help everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So do I know exactly how they're going to use him? There's a lot of shifting pieces. No, but he showed me enough where if I'm going to take a guy for $1, he's definitely in that discussion for me.
All right. So this is what I'm doing this year. I'm passing. I'm not spending on the top guys at all. The one guy I might spend a couple bucks on, Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
After that, let me take a chance on Njoku, Dulcich, Gesicki, Irv Smith, Juwan Johnson.
Yep.
And that's what I'm doing. Unless, like maybe if Goddard goes for $1 or $2. Sometimes these tight ends in auctions can go for like nothing. That's where, okay, if that's happening, that's a different story. But other than that, those are my guys. Let's take a dart throw this year on tight end.
Yeah, that's what. And honestly, there's so many guys too that I wouldn't mind streaming. And once again, I wouldn't trust him for the whole year. But even Sam Laporta,
hey, we don't know.
Detroit, but they really like what they're seeing. And the fact is, they don't really have the wide receivers all set yet. Mm-hmm. There's plenty to go around there. So if you think it's gonna be a high flying offense, you think they're gonna get into the end zone quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You start grabbing those tight ends because all you're looking for is touchdowns. Really, at the end of the day.
Yep. So there we go. It's dart throw season for me at tight end this year. Let's hope we hit